What comes to mind when you hear the word relationship? For most people, these pictures are what come to mind, ones that demonstrate loving, committed relationships between two people. But a relationship can be used to describe many more connections than the typical romantic one that we most often picture. Relationships are defined as the way in which two or more people are connected, or the state of being connected. This can describe the interactions between lovers, friends, family, co-workers, and many others. Intimacy is defined as close familiarity or friendship. Most people, when they hear the word intimacy, they think about a physical, sexual relationship. But intimacy can be used to describe emotional closeness to someone else, and it can involve anyone including friends, family, or acquaintances. Relationships and intimacy are often themes that are overlooked within young adult literature. People may even feel that they are an awkward thing to talk about. But the experiences that young adults have in regard to relationships and intimacy can help them to discover their personal identity. It is a common theme in coming-of-age novels. Forming new relationships with people and watching old ones change leads to a form of self-discovery. And the ability to develop and maintain healthy relationships with others is an important developmental task in young adulthood. In fact, in one of the more relatable coming-of-age novels, The Perks of Being a Wallflower, we are introduced to Charlie, a teenage boy entering high school with a skewed perception of love and intimacy. Growing up in his household, love was rarely shown through hugs or kisses, and his family members never expressed their true, honest feelings for one another. The only person to ever do so was his Aunt Helen. However, we later find out that she sexually abused Charlie when he was young, and he doesn't realize what she did to him until he becomes physically intimate with Sam. There are many relationships I could touch on in this novel, but I will talk about a few that I believe are the most important. The relationships he develops with his two new friends, Patrick and Sam, help him to change his understanding of relationships and intimacy.
We just want to toast our new friend. You see things, and you understand. You're a wallflower.
He soon transforms from a nervous and emotionally closed-off individual to one that forms meaningful, healthy relationships with others, including both romantic and friendly ones. He learns that in order to love others, he must first love and have respect for himself. His English teacher Bill teaches him that we accept the love we think we deserve. And when Patrick is going through a tough time and kisses Charlie, he does not pull away even though he is not interested in Patrick. He just lets him because he thinks that's what Patrick needs, and he wants to be a good friend. Later in the book, when Sam is preparing to leave for college, Charlie admits that he loves her.
Oh, I just want you to be happy.
Don't you get it, Charlie? I can't feel that. It's really sweet and everything, but you can't just sit there and put everybody's lives ahead of yours and think that counts as love.
From this interaction, he realizes that he needs to be honest and open in his relationships. He needs to have respect for himself and not let others take advantage of him. He can't just be a wallflower. Charlie's understanding of relationships and intimacy changes so much throughout the book, and he forms a deeper understanding of himself and how to form healthy, meaningful relationships with others. Relationships and intimacy is a predominant theme in another young adult literature book, titled My Heart and Other Black Holes. Azelle is a high school physics lover that lives in a small town in Kentucky along the Ohio River. Her father committed a violent crime, and she has been struggling to connect to her mother and classmates ever since. She contemplates committing suicide but doesn't think that she can go through with it alone. She finds a website called Smooth Passages that allows you to find a suicide partner. After responding to Roman's post on the website, Azelle meets with him to determine if they are right for each other. Over the next few weeks, they develop their plan to commit suicide together. However, along the way they develop a strong emotional connection that leaves Azelle doubting their plans. Azelle finally has someone to talk to and share her feelings with. Roman can understand her feelings and she does not worry about judgment from him. A connection like this is essential to mental health during challenging times in one's life. If she had been able to talk about her feelings with her mother, her sister, or a friend, She may not have ended up in such a dark place in her life, with the black slug taking over. She didn't have a good relationship with any of them, let alone emotional intimacy with them. The emotional intimacy she developed with Roman made her see the world differently. She began to look forward to and be hopeful for things in the future. Eventually, she decides to choose life, but she must convince Roman to do the same. Relationships like these, where you can be open and vulnerable and have full transparency, are especially important when going through a difficult time in your life. Having someone who listens and understands where you are coming from can be life-saving, just like in Azel's case. Now, I can't say that I have faced as much adversity as the characters in these books have, but these books have caused me to reflect on my own relationships and experiences. I began to realize just how important every one of my relationships are, including the seemingly insignificant ones. From my family to my friends to my boyfriend, to the coworkers I see once a week, and even to those friends who I only see in class. They are all important and have shaped me into the person I am today. I learned that the many relationships I have with others help to define who I am. The way I interact with others is a reflection of how I want to be treated. I thrive off of my interactions with others and look forward to them each day. I have learned to cherish every moment that I get to spend with my loved ones, and I no longer take that time for granted. So in the next book you read, although it may not be one of the main themes, I encourage you to take a look at the various relationships and how the characters are affected by them. I hope what you find inspires you to reflect on your own relationships as well.